sure that she knows everybody except Brittany and Sandy. So maybe you could just tell her a little bit about yourself, maybe just a couple minutes, because I want to give really the most of the time to her. Where you're from and a little bit of how you found Beachbody or became a coach. So Brittany, go ahead.
Okay. So I don't know. I guess I didn't know Amy. I live in North Carolina, but I didn't know her. And we have like this local page, and I saw her post like her results, like a before and after picture. And my husband and I have tried countless things, like number of things of weight loss, and nothing worked. We had the gym membership, that didn't work. We have 2 kids, and he's a police officer, and his schedule is really crazy. So he rarely was able to go to the gym. And so working out at home was definitely like huge for us. It took like 2 months for me to convince him to actually get the 21-day fix, because I'm like, I want it. And he's like, no, I don't know. It's like a lot of money. And so we just did it without the Shakeology, and like we had amazing results. And then Amy talked to me about becoming a coach, and so many people have told us, you guys look great, this is awesome. And so I thought, helping people was the number one. I mean, it's not, having an extra income is nice, but I think more for me, it's actually helping people, especially like moms who have been like depressed and stuff at the state that I was in. Like, it's just amazing how you can help them. And so yeah, when he finally said yes to Shakeology, we can be a coach, and I'm here now and helping other people like me. So.
That is awesome. So let me ask you, how long have you been a coach, Brittany?
June, May.
Okay. Have you shared publicly why the gyms haven't worked for you, and kind of your struggle with the mom depression, and what the fitness program has done for you and all of that?
I did. And I actually did a challenge group. It was like a mommy boot camp. And in there, it was just for moms. And we did, and I told them, we always put ourselves on the back burner. We're always taking care of the family first. And, we slack so much on taking care of ourselves that it's time, it's time to change. We need the energy, and I've told my story on there. So yeah.
Oh, good. That's awesome. Good. Those are really strong points there. So I'm glad that you shared that. What I would definitely suggest is continuing to share that too. We all are interested, we'll still watch movies we've seen before. We'll watch reruns. And I remember when I did pharmaceutical sales, they said that statistics show I would have to say something to a physician 7 times before they would retain it. And so if you think about our audience, they have to see something 7 times. And if it comes to social media, they may not have even seen it, half of those times. If, they weren't on social media for a couple days, or the algorithms were wacky. So point being, continue to share that same story. You can make a new picture with it, word it in a different way, recreate it every single month, and share your story, because that's really strong. And there are so many women that feel the same way you did.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you, Brittany. Okay, Sandy, you're up, lady.
Hi. Excuse me. I'm actually one of the ladies from Brittany. Brittany and I knew each other from a church group, and she had posted information about her before and after, and since I knew her personally, it meant a little bit more to me. I hadn't really known what she looked like before. I hadn't paid close attention, and so her after results I had seen live and in person, and so it actually surprised me when I saw the difference that she had. It kind of stood out to me because I knew her as she is now. I didn't really pay that much attention. So I started back in May as a customer, and maybe I'd say anywhere from 10 to 14 days I haven't exercised since May of last year. I've only missed maybe 10 to 14 days, which is huge because I was never consistent enough with exercise, and so I do it first thing, and it's really been helpful. Huge as far as demeanor, pride in myself, happiness, it's huge. Unexpected results, I'd say, is what that is. Most people are doing that for health and fitness and to be healthier, not thinking that they'd be more confident and happier with themselves on a daily basis, as well as, boosting their immunity. I have 3 small kids, 10, 7, and 5, and the last one now in school, I was thinking, oh goodness, virus left and right, with kindergarten, and we've been a lot stronger and not been as sick. And, as well as making a good role example for my children. The kids jump in every once in a while when they see me in the morning, because they do it before they go to school. And, that's a great thing to be setting a good example.
Sorry, I keep myself on mute to avoid feedback. That's awesome. So some of the words, if you guys aren't on mute, Amy, will you, Sandy? There we go. Okay. Some of the words I wrote down that I heard you say that, and because these are really good takeaways for everybody. You knew her personally. So that shortens the amount of trust, obviously. So getting to know people personally, when you think going ahead, your warm market, the people that know you personally, but then also getting to know people on a more personal basis. And I'm going to talk about that through your posts as well. Hang on. I want to make sure I don't lose some of my points. Okay. And then some of the words, the feeling words that I heard you say was it's helped you become more confident, happier, leading by example for your children, stronger, and having a stronger immune system. So all of those are individual posts that you can share on what it's done for you. And that's something for everybody on this call. What this business and what the products do for you, nobody can take away. And nobody can discredit or question or anything, because it's how you feel and it's what's done for you. I always try and say, when I'm writing a post, I'm not in the convincing business, and none of us should be in the convincing business. We're not here to convince people to use our products. We do have freaking amazing products that work. And the most, I think one of the questions was, how do I get people interested? Is sharing words exactly like Sandy used, confident and happier, and what that means. So when you're writing a post, think about, where you were, what the products have done for you or this business has done for you, what you're excited about, and what that means to you or to somebody else. And I share it like that because I know what I want to get to. One of the other questions is that, people putting you down and stuff like that. It's much harder. It's easier to put people down if they're out there trying to sell or convince people. But if you're speaking from the heart and someone's going to put you down, and you know what, there are going to be people that are like that. There are crappy people or insecure people. It's much harder to do that when someone's speaking from the heart. No one can take that away from you. But it also makes your posts so much more heartfelt and relatable. The other tip I would suggest to attract people would be to share about a struggle. So like what Brittany was saying, how she, struggling to keep her identity, because we do lose ourselves as a mom, right, Brian? We do lose ourselves as moms, or, as corporate people working or in our jobs, and we get so much in the role. But sharing struggles that you've had, whether they're from your past, whether, current or whatever they are, sharing them in a way that you show how you are working through it, or the products or the team or the camaraderie has helped you work through it. All of those are ways that I attract people on social media. I will also say that I was talking to Patty Huss the other day. She's one of our Star Diamond coaches. So when she does her inviting, and I do this too, but she's much more meticulous with it, she'll come up with a really good when she gets some good momentum with her posts. So let's say she did a post about, like she just had her first grandbaby. So that got a whole bunch of affinity. Then she'll follow it up. It's called the jab, jab, right hook. So a couple good personal posts that get good affinity. And then she followed it up with a challenge group ad, you know what I mean? An invite on her Facebook. Then she went to her Teamsy and started working through her invites. And as she went through her invites, she was basically just going through and commenting or starting non-Beachbody conversations with people, complimenting pictures, all of that kind of stuff. Like basically like friendship flirting with everybody she could in that hour she had. And she said she sold 3 challenge packs that day because what is someone going to do when you pay, when you're paid attention to, you're going to go check out more than likely their page. And so she had some good posts, challenge group posts, and people started paying attention and following. And if they didn't follow that day, how many of them you think are like, she got their attention and continue to follow her? So that is the thing with social media and getting people interested is they're going to connect to you first, but long before they're going to connect to the products. And sharing from the heart and then doing the things that I was saying earlier. Now, the other thing is, and this is one of the things I wanted to address, Bonnie Engel does this really, really well if you don't follow her. Addressing negativity or objections or pushback, anything that is a resistance thing, addressing it on social media, not about that person. Let's say Uncle Joe is just really crappy and, makes negative comments. You don't say, hey, this is to Uncle Joe, but you say like hypothetically, some people may feel that that this is a pyramid scheme, or I can't remember some of the examples used, or that I'm on some diet, and I can understand because the social norm is to think X, Y, and Z. However, what I have found through this process, so this is called the feel, felt, found. Write that down. Feel, felt, found. So I used to feel, or some people feel, That's the relatable part. But what you have found, and then that's where you address the objection and share how it's different. I used to feel, like for Brittany, I used to feel that going to the gym was my only option. And I noticed that I wasn't really getting the results that I wanted. And I feel because I was doing mainstream fad diets or and anyway, so then you string it along, but you can address objections publicly on your Facebook through your own experience. And using the feel, felt, found format makes it more relatable, and less like you're cryptically saying, you suck, Uncle Joe. You can design it that way so it's more relatable to your audience. Because you know what? The Uncle Joes of the world, you're probably never going to sell to. You probably won't. That's not your audience. Your audience are all the other people that are interested in what you're saying. The Uncle Joes there are there to sharpen your skill set and help you handle objections. And so those obstacles are there. They've been put there to actually make you much, much more savvy. And it's not just savvy in this business. It'll help you become more savvy with any kind of pushback that you have. If you're a mom on the PTA and there's something going on with your kid, or so, you can go and feel more confident that you can address what you have to say, because this business will condition you to do so, because there are always going to be those people no matter where you go. So I'll take myself off mute. Or, you guys can take yourself off mute. And if you want to ask any questions about what I've said so far, we'll go from there. Nothing? You ever see the movie Planes, Trains, and Automobiles? He's like pulling his own string. That's what I feel like right now. Just keep talking.
I have a question, Chef.
Yay!
Hey. It's about expanding my audience. right now on Facebook, I only have about, I don't know, maybe like a little over 700 friends, I think, something like that. And I know a lot of coaches have thousands. And that's probably the result of not inviting enough people. But I was wondering if you use Instagram much, and if you know much about it and how you go about expanding over there. I don't know if you use Instagram much at all.
Okay, so I do use Instagram. I've never gotten a coach from Instagram.
Okay.
It's not my wheelhouse.
Okay.
My main wheelhouse is my regular personal Facebook page.
Okay.
That's my wheelhouse. And I would say probably then my second would be my YouTube. Again, free platform.
Mm-hmm.
And then my Facebook like page. Now, I do use Instagram and I do use Pinterest because on a lot of these platforms, you can do it on one and share it to the others. So why not wash, rinse, repeat if you're only doing it one time and spread it to the others. This is what I have found with Instagram. It's not my age demographic.
Okay.
Maybe more Brittany's age demographic, but it's mostly 15 to 33-ish. And my age, I'm 44. So my age demographic's more on Facebook and they're more on Pinterest. So
Yeah.
if I am going to put my energy somewhere, I'm going to put it there. But Pinterest is more of a female thing. So I wouldn't say go to Pinterest either.
Yeah.
What I would suggest,
I'm gonna open up a Pinterest account. No, I'm just kidding.
and I've never gotten a coach from Pinterest, but a lot of my stuff gets pinned to Pinterest, so it does create affinity and stuff like that. I would say focus on one platform right now and make it your regular Facebook page. All the shiny objects you think, oh, it could be cool over there or whatever. Snapchat is huge with the younger generation as well.
Yeah.
But if you're looking to add friends, when I don't carry business cards, but if I'm at a restaurant, I that's my business card. I'll be like, oh my God, I'll send you I get them to my Facebook because that's my free billboard.
Yeah.
That is my billboard. And I want them to feel like, just like Sandy said, that they know me more personally.
You mentioned your like page, and I don't know how long ago it was. It's probably been over a year ago that there was the whole thing that people started saying, hey, you have to get a like page and you got to run through stuff, run stuff through your like page. Is that now changed and people don't use that like page really, and they're all on the personal page like you said?
I don't use my like page. I have somebody I pay to post on my like page because I don't even want to deal with it.
Yeah.
I do plan on ramping that back up, but it's not what brings my business in right now. I mean, if I put a lot of time and energy, but I know I get results from my personal Facebook. The thing with the personal Facebook is this. What Facebook doesn't like, I mean, think about it. Facebook wants people on their site. They want people using Facebook. They don't want you to go somewhere else. The thing is so many people were using their personal Facebook to sell stuff in the wrong way. And Facebook's like, we want a piece of that. If you're going to be selling something, you need to go have a like page, a business page, and put money into our bank account to run your ads.
Right.
They don't want people using their personal page. But if you're doing the marketing the way it's taught in the social media marketing that I have and that Beachbody talks about, we always tell you, never post your link, never use Google images of 21-day fix. Always show pictures of you and make it, if you've got 5 posts, make 3 of them personal and 2 of them about Beachbody. Mix it up so it doesn't come across salesy, that it comes across personal. And for that reason, Facebook isn't going to target you because you're not salesy.
Yeah.
It's part of something you're sharing in your lifestyle.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Hey, Shay, do you think it's important though? Like, I know you're saying Snapchat is like, because I've been trying to dabble in that a little bit. Do you think that's still kind of a good idea? These new social media platforms, I'm definitely not an expert at it. In fact, my kids have to show me how to do everything every time.
Mine too. Randa does. Snapchat, I would definitely put time into, but maybe if you've got time for social media, do 80% Facebook and then like 20% Snapchat. The thing with Snapchat, the good thing with Snapchat is you don't have to, there's no long posts, right? It's just picture, caption. It's very quick, it's very playful, it's very good for short attention spans. So you can get a lot of content out. The flip side is it's like Instagram, it's more content driven. So you've got to keep posting pictures. And sometimes for me, I feel like I don't want to stop and take another picture. Whereas Facebook, I can post 2 to 3 times a day and be done with it. So it just depends kind of, I guess, on your lifestyle and how much time you have to do that stuff. As far as adding friends, I go to people's pages that I know, back to the, someone personally or kind of personally. And so I either use the people you may know that Facebook suggests, or I'll go to a couple of my college friends or people I worked with at a certain job somewhere where we have certain groups of friends, and I will find friends that we have mutual friends with that I'm not friends with yet. So when I'm friend requesting somebody, we already have 2 or 3 mutual friends. It doesn't look as weird because we already have 3 mutual friends.
Yeah.
And then the irony is, like, now I'll have 2 or 3 mutual friends with people and not know any of them. It's just because it's kind of like she does it, so I'll just go ahead and approve them kind of thing. Enough people have done that. So, So that's how I try and add friends. And then if you guys have added people and they've not approved you, I would go in once a week and take them out. If they've not approved you in like 3 or 4 days, take back the request, delete the request.
Yeah.
A, because they're either probably not going to approve you. B, they're not on social media enough for you to probably sell to. Or C, Facebook is going to penalize you for having all these requests out there and nobody's accepting, so you can delete them.
Oh, is that true that they penalize you for stuff like that?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Huh.
So you don't want to have all these open friend requests just sitting there pending.
I did not know that.
Yes. So here's the other thing is when you guys, we're all busy. We all have so much time. When you can create custom feeds in your Facebook. So you can create to where a feed to, like right now, and I know, Brian, we've talked about this, but having a feed where you've got, everybody and everybody. I want you guys, until you've hit Success Club or hit your goal every single month, you only need to be focusing on people you can sell to or sign up.
Yeah.
Period. It's nice to, it's easy to go like on people, your friends and your, other coaches and all that warm fuzzy stuff. You can't sell to another coach, and you can't sign up another coach. So I really would stress for you guys, stay focused on your business and people you can sell or sign up on your team. And those are the people that you need to be paying attention to, commenting on, starting conversations with.
Mm-hmm.
I remember you talking about that before. That's something I need to do because I've never did that. One of the things I did too was turn off all my notifications because I would be looking at my phone all the time and it was driving me crazy. So now it's like a surprise when I log in. Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
What were some of the other questions? Do you have them written down? I want to make sure I answer all of them or cover all of them. Let me see. It's so tiny here. Okay, how do you get someone interested? I talked about that. Okay, for people that you've had conversations with, or if you message someone and they don't message you back, I just move on. Otherwise you're going to look like a stalker and a weirdo, and then they're going to think, well, gosh, they want me, if they ever thought about joining your team, they're going to think back like, I don't want to have to keep, messaging people like that. I will follow up consistently until I can tell that there's like that distance and they're just not getting back to me. Then maybe you'll do it a week later. And then if they still don't get back, I'll maybe put it in my Teamsy to come up a month later. And I won't be like, hey, what's going on? I will say something like, hey, I was just thinking of you, or I'll comment something on their page, or just so that my name comes up and it's top of mind. But I will say this, if you have done the work with somebody, so if I could say, Brittany, I've talked to you and you've told me you're a busy mom. You've told me that you don't have time or the money to go to the gym. You've told me that you see so much value in having an on-demand program, and you told me you lack energy, and I've shared with you how Shakeology can help your energy. I've shared with you it's $199, which, gosh, over the year, your husband, you can all use the streaming programs, and you're going to get a month of Shakeology, and it's going to waive your business fee. We've talked about all of that. So share with me, is there anything else that's holding you back from joining my team? Done. What I did is I went through all the objections that she's ever had in the last 3 or 4 months I've been talking to her. I've reinforced the positive on how it affects her life. And then, what's holding you back? Have I addressed everything? Are there other things that we can talk about? If not, what's holding you back?
Mm-hmm.
It's open-ended. You've reinforced the positive and the value, and it kind of either elicits another objection that you have the opportunity to answer, or they're like, I don't know, I'm ready, or let's do it. Another option is you can always offer an incentive. I get the I don't get paid till Friday kind of thing. Awesome. When you order by Friday, that's great. I'm actually running a special. So for everybody that does order by Friday is also going to get a free shaker cup, whatever, free something. So that you can dangle that carrot that they can order by Friday and reinforce that, okay, you said Friday. The other thing I would suggest is every time you have a conversation, asking open-ended commitments. Okay, I just sent you, Sandy, the business opportunity webinar. I know you're interested in the business. If I send you the webinar, it's 60 minutes. I always timestamp something because I want to respect people's time. It's 60 minutes. Will you watch it if I send it to you? And then we can chat in a few days and see, if you want me to about it. And then you say yes or no, don't. Of course they're going to say yes. And then I send it and say, okay, I'll follow up with you in several days and let me know what you think. So she already knows. So I'm always trying to timestamp when I'm going to follow up with somebody else. So I'm kind of giving, and then if I follow up and she's like, oh, I've not had a chance to watch it yet, that's okay. All right, I'll talk to you next week. I'll check in and see how you're doing. Have a great weekend. There was something else I was going to say with that. Oh, something I learned from Janelle Summers that sounds so much softer than, okay, 2 things. One is, I said this on the National Wake Up Call a while back, getting rid of words that put people on the defensive. Why, when, not so much. Why is a big one. So, why haven't you ordered yet? When do you think you will? Kind of stuff like that. Better ways of saying it is share with me. Tell me more about. Why reminds us of when we're 6 years old and we didn't do what we were supposed to, and our mom is like, why did you do that? Why? Why didn't you clean the room? Right? It puts us it makes us feel inferior. So always wording things, it's just softer when you say, well, share with me more about what's holding you back. Share with me, tell me more about, wording things like that. Help me understand. There's another one. So those are ways that you can word things that don't sound so, it just sounds softer and more approachable. And then what I was going to say from Janelle Summers is, instead of, do you want to become a coach, or whatever, you could say, have you considered, or would you consider? Consider makes it's not a definite obligation, right? It's all you're asking them is not a yes or no. You're asking that they would consider joining as a coach. Well, most people, or you could say, are you open to thinking about being a coach? No one's going to want to say, no, I'm not open to it. Everybody wants to be perceived as open and available and positive. So saying, are you open to stuff like that? Consider, those are all little words that you can use in conversations with people that soften the approach and make people want to converse with you and not answer. Not answer. Is that helpful? Is that good? Okay, let me see if I, okay. 3 words. We've got 4 minutes left. 3 words in this business that is the answer to every single question. Amy probably knows this, and probably Dan. I got this from Christina Delgado. There's 3 words. Every question you have in this business. Find more people. If you're not hitting Success Club, find more people. If you're not getting enough coaches, find more people. You don't have 700 people on your Facebook and nobody's buying? Guess what? Find more people. The answer to everything in this business is to find more people. So if people aren't replying to you, they're not answering, they're not buying by Friday like they said they would. Next, find more people. You just have to keep talking to and adding more people and chatting with more people. Friendship flirting with more people. And then making your posts amazing so that people want to see your post as like the magazine they want to always open, the reality TV show they always want to tune into. Okay, so find more people. That's my point on that one. What do you do when someone tells you they're going to order? Okay, got that. Handle criticism. Criticism, I take criticism as if it's implying that it's someone that's mean. Honestly, you're not going to convince people that are just mean-spirited anything. So I would say don't engage with them, don't interact with them as little as possible. I mean, if it's family, you kind of have to, but sometimes just like agreeing, oh, you're in that pyramid scheme or whatever, and kind of like, yeah, it must be. Look at me over here in my pyramid scheme with my new Mercedes. Laughing all the way. Ha ha ha, my pyramid scheme. No, but one of the ways that you can come back to people is you can say, well, what do you mean by that? That's a really good way, because a lot of these negative people, these trolls, are just doing it to see your reaction, to see you shake and get insecure. That's all they're not looking for reason. They're not looking for anything other than to rattle you. So when people ask me, I'll say back, well, tell me what you mean by a pyramid scheme. Tell me what you mean by it's a overpriced cheap shake. Tell me what you mean by whatever. Tell me what you mean by a fad diet. Because half the time they don't even know what they mean. And when they try to explain themselves, then you can have an opportunity to say, I understand where you're coming from, or wait, how you may think that way. But in actuality, what I found is that pyramid schemes are illegal, because pyramid schemes actually don't have real products. We have real products. So clearly we can't be a pyramid scheme. We're direct selling. Done. A lot of it is just, with trolls or people, like they're just trying to rattle you, and you can always just say, tell me what you mean by that, by X, Y, and Z. And that's usually how I handle it. And if a lot of times I don't even reply, because they're like, oh shit, didn't work. All right. Anything? I think I answered all the questions. You could always block certain people from your Facebook too. If they're just nasty, you can always just block them or hide your posts from certain people. And it's sad that you'd have to do that with family members, but I've had to block people from time to time. Next. That's not my tribe. That's not my audience. I would not want somebody like that on my team. So why would I'm tangling up with them?
I was just going to say that used to bother me a lot, really bad. But now I'm like 3 years later, I'm like, I don't care. Like this, I don't care. It's easier to kind of shrug it off.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yep.
Okay, our time I think is ticking down. Because I'm on the 3. What?
You guys have any more questions? Because we can log back in again.
Yeah. Anybody else have any questions?